Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. It's time, once again, for another depressing dose of dismal Disney. If you think that Disney's upcoming 2024 live-action race-swapped remake of their 1937 classic animated masterpiece, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, is going to be a hit with audiences, then I'll have to ask you to take a look at these images that Disney initially tried to claim weren't from the production. When exclusive photos from the set of Disney's live-action adaptation of Snow White leaked last week, the internet reacted like someone had poisoned their apple. The pictures, published by the Daily Mail, featured Snow White accompanied not by 7 little men, but by actors of different genders, ethnicities, and heights. The Mail headline, "Exclusive Snow White and the 7 Politically Correct Companions?" quickly made waves online as conservatives criticized the woke update. And let's not mince words, it is a woke update. That's exactly what it is. Complete with identity politics and an underlying feminist agenda. Because apparently, in this live-action race-swapped remake, there is no Prince Charming because Snow White is now a strong woman who don't need no man. But a Disney representative told the Daily Beast that the photos were, quote, fake and not from our production, unquote. But then Disney later reversed the claim and told the Daily Beast that the photos were from the set of Snow White, though they were not official photos. While actors Rachel Zegler and Andrew Burnap were not featured in the pictures, their stand-ins were, which led to some initial confusion. After facing controversy last year for their planned portrayal of the princess's 7 companions, Disney insisted that they were, quote, consulting with members of the dwarfism community, unquote, to avoid reinforcing the stereotypes baked into the 1937 film. And are these alleged members of the dwarfism community authorized by a majority of them to speak on their behalf? Or is this just a small self-appointed group of complainers? The original 1937 film is still loved today, but identity politics has apparently vilified it. It's a pure fantasy film not intended to represent the real world. But Mickey Mouse and company then suggested that instead of 7 dwarves, the characters would be transformed to, quote, magical creatures, unquote, through the use of CGI, an unsatisfactory compromise for all. And guess what? I highly doubt that it's what most people are going to want to pay to see in a movie theater. I've looked at these pictures, and in my opinion, they're awful. These characters, who are going to be used in place of the 7 dwarfs, pretty much just look like common, everyday, ordinary, politically correct people you'd see walking down the street, except that their clothes are pathetic. Just look at this guy with the rope on his waist. He looks angry. So maybe he's grumpy, or just angry that he's having to wear such a stupid-looking costume. And what's this guy carrying? A magical club to beat people with? His coat looks like a throwback to something that was knitted back in the 1970s with all that burnt orange. And whoever this woman is supposed to be, she doesn't look particularly happy either. If she's supposed to be magical, it looks like she's wearing an ordinary hoodie, just like the white bearded guy that's trailing behind her, who has his hood up on what looks like a hoodie made from a repurposed quilt that someone's grandma might have sewn together. Between burnt orange, grandma's quilt, and hoodies, there's simply nothing special about how any of these people are dressed. They look more like homeless people who smell bad more than having any magical abilities. These are the types of clothes that even Goodwill wouldn't want as donations. And look at Zegler's stand-in for Snow White. She looks more like Little Red Riding Hood in that getup. Back in 2022, Peter Dinklage had apparently complained about the movie, saying, quote, I was a little taken aback when they were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White. You're still telling the story of Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. Take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way and you're still making that effing backwards story about 7 dwarves living in a cave together. What the F are you doing, man? Unquote. So apparently, he thinks he's an official spokesperson for the entire dwarfism community. When people think of Snow White, they think of 7 dwarfs, not 7 politically correct diverse people of average height wearing tacky clothes that look like they were found in a reject bin that Goodwill didn't even want. If this is truly what Disney is going to be releasing in 2024, no amount of high-priced marketing is going to get people to pay to see this in theaters. Just like most weren't willing to pay to see Disney's live-action race-swapped remake of The Little Mermaid this year, which is a bona fide flop. But let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.